Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. This is a channel where I look at the artwork of Pokemon cards, and today's subject is this set, which is known as Transformational Mask or Mask of Change in Japanese, and came out in April of 2024. And it will be in English part of the Twilight Masquerade set at the end of May 24, along this set combined with the previous set, Crimson Haze, that came out in March of 24 in Japan. So this is the subject for today's video. And it's quite a large set by Japanese standards. It's got 101 regular cards and 32 extra cards, secret rares, etc. I don't have quite all the cards at the moment. I'm doing this video just to get ahead of the English set, but I'm missing a couple of the ace specs that I've ordered and some of the art rares as well that I've ordered. But given that I'm not actually going to be really focusing on the art rares or the special art rares, that's fine. I've got all the cards here that I want to talk about today. Overall, it's a disappointing set for me, full of disappointing Pokemon. And a lot of the artists, even though there are cards illustrated by some artists I really like, there's a lot that falls short of their best work or just turn in rather forgettable cards. I mean, you've got a good example here, Kimura. Kimura's a great artist, love Kimura's work. And they were given Sunkern, and what she's done here is a very forgettable card. It's a very nicely painted. Kimura is a great artist, but it's not exactly a card you're going to chase after or be interested particularly in. And I would say the same is true for Okacheki here. Okacheki has done Poliwhirl, which is quite a popular Pokemon. Gen 1 Pokemon tend to be. And by Okacheki's standards, it's competent. It's nicely done card, but it's not dynamic or interesting enough to be memorable. But that's often the case throughout this set. You'll have that. There's also a lot of the new generation of artists that they're using now. They have commissioned, once again, and they've done this for the last few sets, quite a lot of the artists that who entered the illustration contest, the last one, the 2022 one, and who didn't win, but they still got given commissions, and they're continuing to do cards. So you've got a lot of artists here who've had a few cards so far. And you've got one or two brand new ones, quite often taken from that same competition. So what are we going to talk about on the first page? Excuse me, knocked the camera. On this first page, nothing particularly inspires me. I think Orca's done nice work for the Illumise and Volbeat, but not enough that I want to particularly talk about them. Sabateri has done Diplin as a nice cartoon graphic with capturing the evening light very well. It's okay. The Pokemon's a little bit boring. It's not a very memorable card. So on the second page, I mean, Koiki Saito always does beautiful artwork. I don't like this new Pokemon. This is Sinistra? I can't remember which way around it is. I think it's Sinistra. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But nice background with the bamboo. It's Koiki Saito, brilliant artist. Not a particularly memorable card. Now this one, which I thought was Mina Nakai, when it is, and it's not. This artist is Asare? Let me have a look at my notes. It's Asare. Yes, that's right. They've done 3 cards. As I say, so it's got a Mina Nakai brush stroke, pen stroke feel to it. But they've also done the art rare for Tatsugiri for this set. And they I think they did a Bronzong in the previous set. But this I liked as a piece of graphic. It's got something going for it. It's memorable. Yeah, that's okay. And I quite liked this Darmanitan as a piece of graphic art. Quite 70s. Then it's art style, Okubo. And then we've got this Rond card as well. I'm really... I like the fact that they're using an artist like Rond who has a very French impressionistic style. I mean, this looks like Cézanne or something, or Monet actually. No, Cézanne. Well, it looks like Rond. that's the artist. I shouldn't compare them directly with other artists. It's nice. It's just not my thing, but I can understand why people like that. Oh goodness me. Okay, let's give this one a go. This is Kedama Hadatai Yawarakai, I think. Kedama Hadaitai Yawarakai. Again, like Rond, very painterly style, and it's not my thing. But I like their name, even though I can't say it. So there we go. Moving on to the next page. Now this page has got some cards I like, and if you have seen any of my previous videos, you might know what sort of thing I like. Very fond of Gemi. I think they've done this Seeking quite nicely, but what bothers me about it a little bit is the eyes look more like a pair of stickers stuck on the side of Seeking's head rather than actually functioning eyes. But it's a nicely conceived card, and Gemi is a very good artist, so that I quite like. Do not like this artist, I'm afraid. Akitsu. I am a huge fan of Akitsu. I think Akitsu is one of the best. It's probably my second favourite artist after Arita. They are just so talented, and I love the fact that their backgrounds are incredibly beautiful, and you just don't see them properly unless you really look at the card. Mirokros. Okay, here's a card to talk about. Now this is by Oku, and Oku is a new artist that I've been collecting, and I've been so blown away by their cards, like the Golurk, the red sky Golurk, and the red sky Scizor. I don't like this. I think the colours are horrible. And I mean, Glalie a very unattractive Pokemon, and they've put a real chin on it. And it's boss-eyed as always. I just don't like it, I'm afraid. That's a disappointment, because all of Oku's cards have been so good till now. That misses the mark quite heavily for me. Narumi Sato has done another beautiful little card. I mean, they did that Eevee card recently, but they've got quite a Kimura-like painting style, but still very much their own style. And this is a very beautifully done card. Finizen. I think I said it was Finizen. Oh, no. If I make a mistake, I'm sorry. I'm somewhat tired and in a lot of pain. This one is by Licton. Yeah, Licton. And this is the Palafin, regular form Palafin. And I think that's very nicely painted. Yeah, nice card. So there are some good cards on this page. Moving over to the next one. We've got a Wada card here, Luxio. And I am collecting Takumi Wada's cards. Obviously there's the connection with Zelda. That is a very nicely done card. And Luxio is a lovely Pokemon. So I like that card. But probably not that memorable. This is a very strange card. This is Tier 0, and it's not a normal style at all. I mean, I would never know that was a Tier 0 card. At all. It's almost like it's been mislabeled or something, but... do I like it? No, I don't think I do. I love Tier 0's art. I just don't like that. Very strange. But then the page finishes with 3 of the strongest cards in the set. I collect Satoma. Satoma is one of the greatest artists, and right up there in my top 5 artists of all time. I think they're just incredibly talented, and I look forward to getting many, many more cards by them. This is genius. Yeah, I mean, I did a video recently on Satoma's artwork, so I'm not going to talk much more about that, because I've already said all I need to say about that card. Karia, who also I am collecting and I'm very fond of. I think they're a great artist. That is a brilliant card, the Abra Keishi. And the concept of it with sitting in the grass with the low camera angle and the Twilight. Beautiful. Amazing. They did their first card was Herdia, which I was a huge fan of. I think it made my top 5 of the cards of last year. Yeah, brilliant artist. What have I got here? Yes, so put this one in as a reference. So this is Uninori, who is another new artist. Who this was their first card, I think, in the Battle Academy, and I was just, that is just great artwork. But they've done this Kadabra for this set, really good card. And they've also done the pre-release artwork for Thwacky or Twilight Masquerade. So I'm going to have to get a copy of that because I can't get to any pre-release tournaments. Cartoon style, strong lines, but really good. Well executed, well coloured. Yeah, very talented artist. So look forward to seeing much more of their work in the coming years. The next page. Okay, a little bit more disappointing. We've got a Kodama Monkey Dory, which suffers from the fact that it's Monkey Dory. And I don't like it. But the actual background painting, the whole painting is great. And this is Kodama, who is an artist I respect very much. And we've got Koiki Saito doing Pheasantipede, and Koiki's always great. Pheasantipede, not a Pokemon I've warmed to at all at the moment. Kazube has done Gerda, and she's done an adequate card. Yeah, it's a little bit muddy maybe, but then Kazube tends to be that those tones. It's okay. We've got Saito doing Timber. I don't particularly like Timber. I like Conkeldurr, but I don't like Timber. Very detailed background. That's Saito. Saito's a good artist. This one I quite liked. And this is Niso to Niso. And they've done a lot of cards. Let me think. How many cards? I think I wrote it down somewhere. What? 31 cards so far. So a collectible artist. It's a sort of card you'd pass over in the file normally, but actually if you look at it, it's very well done. Good perspective, action shot. Sandsash is a very good Pokemon. Yeah, I think that's a good card. Wasn't so impressed by this, but I know that this is the Sandshrew by Tetsuka's. Let's have a look at it. Tetsu Kayama. Tetsu Kayama. Almost pointillist style. What have they done? I know they've done 12 cards. Their first one was the Machoke, the art rare of Machoke from 151, where it's sort of moving the cut through of the house with them moving all the boxes in. It's an interesting style. As I say, it's like pointillism, but yeah, it's okay. It's not really my thing. And on this page, here's a, okay, so we have a situation here. Poochyena, one of my very favourite Pokemon. I think it's not only it's got a lovely character, but I think the design with the 2 different tones of grey and the very bright eyes is just one of the best Pokemon designs ever. Love Poochyena. I'm not a huge Shibuzo fan. I like this card a lot. And I don't know whether it's because I like Poochyena a lot. I think it would be hard for anyone to do a Poochyena card that I didn't like in some way. And you've got the obverse of that here, that this is a Kawaii. I don't like Mightyena. I love Kawaii. And one is colouring the other. So do I like the card? I don't like the card. And I think it's because I don't like Mightyena. Or maybe it's just not a very good bit of Kawaii. But I don't like it. And then you've got this. Now, I have been a long, lifelong detractor of Tomokazu Komiya. It's actually very good. Venipede, do I like Venipede? Not particularly. It's just more and more I'm finding Komiya cards. God, as I say, I'm tired. Tomokazu Komiya. More and more I'm finding Komiya cards appealing, and that's worrying because for so long I didn't like his work. Yeah, I'm never going to be a Komiya collector, but it's a good card. There's nothing else on this page that I particularly want to talk about or interests me. Don't like this creature. Sorry. On this page, Egawa. I'm not an Egawa fan, and I'm not a Heatran fan, so that's a double whammy on that one. Hasuno. Hasuno's done a lot of cards. I was amazed when I looked it up. It was about 80 cards or 90 cards. I don't know, a lot of cards. Revavroom. Awful Pokemon. Horrible design. Totally unappealing. Actually quite a good card though. Look, that's a nice piece of artwork. So, just shows what an artist can do, even with the worst of Pokemon. Right, this is Scav Kozumi. I've not been a fan of their work over the years. I love Dreepy. I think that's actually a really nicely done card. It's got so much personality. Yeah, I'm going to rate that card. I think that's a good card. The Dracloak doesn't particularly interest me. The Hoganosuke Chansey doesn't interest me. This is a new artist here. We have this is the Ipom by, I wrote it down, Mugi Hamada, and they were a 2022 card illustrator. I actually quite like the artwork they did, I think, for the illustration contest, but it's a new artist. I love Ipom. I do sort of collect Ipom, sort of, ish. Oh, I missed this Lairon. I want to talk about the Lairon. In the Lairon is by Takashi Shiraishi. Takashi Shiraishi. Again, this is another French impressionistic look. And I pulled out the other two cards they've done as a comparison because they did these two previously. There's a lot of colour in it. I think I quite like it. I think it's quite appealing. Still not my thing. I'm much more into the clean cartoon style. But they've done some nice work. I actually like the Ponyta best, I think. The fisheye lens. But yeah, nice to see an artist like this being commissioned. So those are all the cards that in the regular set that I wanted to have a look at. Obviously, if I'm looking at the bigger expanded set, this is the best card in the set by quite some way for me, because it's Mitsuhiro Rita, and it's a really good bit of Mitsuhiro Rita that involves underwater, so it ticks every box. And I am a collector of Matazo, and they did this Frostlass. It's probably my least favourite Matazo card so far, but it's got a lot of character. It's very dismal, dreary, but a lot of Matazo is. Or not a lot, because they haven't done many cards, but their style tends to be on the dark and dreary side. But it's a very, very good bit of painting, very competent painting. And this is a more typical bit of Tezira with the awful Monkey Dory, but it's a very nicely done card. I have got the other art rares all coming from various places around the world, but they haven't arrived yet. So let me think. What are my top cards from the set? Well, ignoring the Arita, because it's not allowed to be counted being an art rare, having that advantage of being an art rare. I think let's go for the top 5. Well, I think I gave it number 5. I gave to I think I gave this to this number 5, the Wada, simply because Wada is a very good artist, interesting artist, and I think Luxio is a nice card. But really, there's not a lot of distance between this and some of the other ones as well. I liked the Kadabra a lot, so I gave that. This is 4th place for me. This is the Uninori. I think that's an interesting card. Very nice. In 3rd place, I have chosen Akitsu's Milotic. Yeah, so that's my 3rd place. In 2nd place, I went for the Korea Abra. So that's my 2nd favourite card from the set, from the regular cards. And then, surprise, surprise, Satoma wins with Clefable, Pikushi. That is a very beautiful card. So that sort of saves the set for me. But there you go. Those are some good cards from this set. Overall impression is it's a very lackluster set, very forgettable. And I hope that the next set is a little bit more interesting.